Hey folks, well last night was the American Idol auditions in Jacksonville, Florida. And Jacksonville, as in Randy Jackson. They started off the shows with clips of Randy Jackson. What did y'all think about that hair? That was so funny. I can't believe Randy Jackson ever looked like that. That was hilarious. I almost died when it showed him playing that guitar. He was spanking that guitar like it was a misbehaved youngin'. That's the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. The first person to audition was Joshua Alua. I don't know how to say his last name. But anyways, he said he enjoys being compared to Justin Guarini because it helps people remember you. How? They don't remember Justin? I think it's just the hair, because even if Justin Guarini was to shave his head, if he was to cut his hair, do something different with it, nary a soul would recognize him. Nobody would know who he was. So, Joshua, perhaps you'll be good enough that you can also be runner-up, and in 8 years from now, you could be hosting a show on the TV Guide channel about American Idol. Maybe not. Second was Sharon Wilbur and her adorable, adorable dog. I love that dog. Her dog sat on Simon's lap while she sang Superstar by Karen Carpenter. And she was okay, but she was no Karen Carpenter. Simon and Randy immediately said yes, and Paula and Kara started ganging up with each other, and Paula reached over and gave a fake kiss to Kara. Kara said that she had thought Simon would be the one to try to kiss her, not Paula. Poor, poor drunk Paula. Paula Abdul, what are you doing? She is so crazy. Third was Dana Moreno. That name sounds familiar. Didn't that used to be the White House press secretary? No, that was Dana Perino. Dana Perino? I don't remember. Anyways, she screamed out a Shaka Khan song, and she told the judges that she would take as much direction as they wanted to give her, and Simon says, well, that's good, and pointed her to the door. Next was Kaneswa Finney and her plaid dress. That was an ugly little plaid dress. Cute girl, but ugly dress. She went in there with confidence, and her mom was just singing her praises. And you know what always happens when the mom is out there singing the praises and the contestant goes in with confidence? They're always horrible. She went in singing it. Well, maybe I'm giving her too much credit. She wasn't that good. She was pretty bad. She thought she did good, though, but it was a no. Next was Julissa Velaz. I don't know how you say that. She said she wants a Latin American Idol because we haven't had one yet. No, we haven't. Not yet. She went in there acting real dingy and stuff, and real dingy, wearing a tiara and everything else, and flailing around a lot. So she kind of got on my nerves, but she sang a Whitney Houston song, which she started off pretty good, which I was surprised by. But it really fell apart by the end. I thought the end was horrible. They put her through, though. Now Paula, though, she feels kind of left out when she's sitting there with 4 judges. They forgot to let her talk. Poor, poor Paula. Maybe they didn't want to hear you, Paula. Next was Darren Darnell. He was walking around that holding room bugging the piss out of everybody. He was getting on everybody's nerves. He seemed like a really nice guy, but just way too hyper. He seems like, if you ever had one of those friends that everybody loves them, but you're all the time having to tell them to shut up because they just talk too much. They just get on your nerves. Well, he made him a friend out in the holding room, and his friend didn't make it. And he was so tore up about that, he couldn't even make it through his own audition. He was so tore up that when he finally botched his own audition, he was just in tears. He was in tears. He wasn't being all loud and hyper when he left. He was very quiet and upset. Poor thing. Next was Naomi Sykes. She said that her friend was Randy Jackson's biggest fan, and it came as a surprise to everyone, especially Randy Jackson. Who knew Randy Jackson had fans? She went and sat on Randy's lap, and Paula sat on Simon's lap, and Ryan sat on Kara's lap. Isn't that sweet? Naomi compared herself to Mariah Carey, and of course we all know what happens when they compare themselves to Mariah Carey. They're going to squeak out something. I didn't think she was serious, though. I think her and her friend was just trying to get on the show. Simon thought it was a joke, too, and then she cried, and all the judges gave her a group hug, but I think it was fake tears, and I think it was a fake audition, and she just wanted to be on the show. But maybe she really thought she could sing. Next was Jasmine Murray. She sang Big Girls Don't Cry. She was okay. The judges sang her praises like she was just the best thing they'd seen, and she wasn't that great, but she was okay. After that was George Ramirez, 18 years old with a beard like that. I wasn't even shaving when I was 18. Rarely even shave now. How did he grow a beard like that at 18 years old? He must have went through puberty when he was 2. I mean, that was crazy. He looked like my 6th grade science teacher, Mr. Winters. Mr. Winters was a Quaker, and his wife was a substitute teacher, and we used to laugh at him all the time because he smelled really bad, and he had like dandruff, always had dandruff in his beard. And his wife, she would wear dresses that came down to about her knees, but she never shaved her legs, but she would wear pantyhose, and so all her hair would stick out of her pantyhose, and it was just so funny. But he looked just like my 6th grade science teacher. He was very strange, very strange. He said in 11 years he wants to have a simple house with nice floors. Well, don't we all? He sang horrible. I don't understand how all these brainiacs are going on there thinking they can sing. Smart people, but very strange. Next was Anne-Marie Boscovich. She said that she loved Kara, and she sang great. They sent her out to prepare again. Why? I thought she was great. I thought she was the best female of the night. Next was TK Hash from North Carolina. Woohoo for North Carolina. He sang Imagine. He can sing good, but it was like an over-the-top version of David Archuleta's version. And it was just a little bit too much for me. But I thought he was pretty good. And he's from North Carolina. And the North Carolina folks always do well. Well, not always. But sometimes. Who have we had from North Carolina? We had Clay Aiken, Fantasia, Chris Daughtry, Kelly Pickler, Bucky. And I'm forgetting somebody. I don't remember who. Anyway, Simon said no immediately. I think Simon had it out for him before the first note ever came out of his mouth. I think Simon already knew he was going to say no. He must have remembered his audition from last year. After that was Michael Pirelli. He says he takes his guitar everywhere. Boy, he was terrified when they would not let him audition with his guitar. Has he never watched the show? Nobody auditions with their guitars. He said he had no backup plan. You'd better come up with a backup plan. Poor thing was in tears. He sang okay. I thought he sang better when he had the guitar with him. But when Ryan asked his parents, what does he do, and they said that this is it, day and night, this is what he does, and they were rooting for him. They thought he was great, but that's all he does. I'd make him go out and get a job if I was his parents. That's a kept child right there. I felt really bad for him, though, up until the point where his mom tried to hug him, and he pushed her away. And I agree with what Ryan said. That's your mother. You can't do that. And I agree with Ryan. But he was begging. He was practically begging. Simon was starting to get ticked off at him. After that was Anne-Marie again. I don't know why they put that poor girl through all that, made her go out there. And she didn't need all that makeup. I thought she was pretty before. They said she didn't have any star quality or whatever. I mean, they've put some dumpy people through there before. I thought Anne-Marie was very pretty, and I thought she was the best of the night. And so I'm glad she made it. 16 people made it from Jacksonville. Only 16? Is it just me, or are they putting through very few people this year? Very few people. I don't know why. But anyway, tomorrow is auditions from Salt Lake City, and it's the last audition episode. Home of David Archuleta. I wonder if they're going to dump on him again. I'm glad it's the last auditions because I'm really getting bored with these auditions.